When it comes to credit restoration, credit rehab, credit repair, whatever you decide to call it, we often talk about the extreme importance of personal information that's on your credit profile or in your credit report. Well, I'm here to tell you there's a new legislation that's being introduced talking specifically about your name. So let's get into it. Hey, this is Dominic Jackson, Coach D with Guaranteed Financial Consulting. And I'm going to talk to you about a specific legislation that's being introduced, namely around your name. A lot of name changes is happening within certain communities, that of the LGBTQ community or non-binary. A lot of people are changing their names, and it's causing some issues when it comes to their credit. And so a bill is being introduced to protect people when they change their name. And the reason I want to discuss this is because it shows the importance of a name. I get into oftentimes not arguments, but just discussions with people who don't think personal information plays a role into your credit, the importance of it, but it does play an extreme importance. And that's why this bill is being introduced. And so let's talk a little bit more about those specifics. So this bill will be called the Name Accuracy in Credit Reporting Act. Again, that's the Name Accuracy in Credit Reporting Act. And this will, or could, at least has the possibility to amend the FCRA, or the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And by now you know probably that the FCRA, or the Fair Credit Reporting Act, regulates how the credit reporting agencies can collect, access, and share consumer data. So one of the arguments in this bill is that when a person changes their name, that it becomes difficult on the credit reporting agencies, or they make them go through extra steps to prove their name change. And the argument is that it shouldn't be that way, because the credit bureaus or credit reporting agencies, they already do that for divorced or married couples. So why should someone who decides to change their name have to go through all these additional steps to make sure that nothing is being changed, or that things are being changed on the credit report and being correctly reported? And the reason this is important is because right now these reports are happening to where they're being fragmented, and information is getting put onto other reports and it's not being reported correctly, which is causing more errors and more misinformation on other people's credit reports, because files are getting merged. Accounts, again, is being put on someone else's because the name has changed. And so again, personal information is important because that's what attaches you. In this report, it talks about how credit reports are choosing to fail certain communities. Matter of fact, let me read this for you real quick. Credit bureaus are choosing to fail transgender and non-binary consumers by creating careless and unnecessary hurdles to accessing accurate and complete credit information, which can lead to unfair denial of credit, housing, or employment. Again, this is why it's extremely important to making sure that information, especially personal information, is correct, because it can lead to these things. It also states in this report that whether it's transgender, non-binary people, or survivors of domestic violence, every American should be able to get an accurate credit report and score. Yes, I 100%, matter of fact, 1000% agree with that statement. Everyone should get an accurate and error-free credit report and have access to that. And another thing in this report, and I want to read this because this is the key that I want you to listen to what's being said. And this is accurate, is true. And this is according to, again, the FCRA. So let's read this here. Having a different name on the file is not only an inaccuracy, but also can have implications that impact a person's ability to buy or rent a house, get a job, or anything that would require a look into their credit history. Wow. That is an amazing statement. And again, this is why we start with personal information. We focus on the personal information. And this is why it's extremely important for you to address the information in there that's not correct. A misspelling of the name. This could cause files to get merged. You may not think that there's anyone else out there with your name, but there could be. And just think, if someone misspells their name that maybe was slightly different, but then all of a sudden it gets on their profile, but now it's the same as yours, and it ends up in your credit report. It somehow merged with your information and affects you tremendously. This becomes the battle that we battle against every day in helping our clients. So remember that personal information is extremely important, and I applaud them for going after names, because regardless of the situation, we all should have access, like it says, to 100% accurate information on our credit reports and in our credit file. So let's get after it and keep up the good work. If you found value in this video, do me a favor, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, do all those things so that we can continue to bring you good, valuable information. Let's get it.